Okay. So next step is we try to move our character, because right now you press the WASD on your keyboard, it doesn't change anything. So let's figure out how to move forward first. And because if we know how to move forward, then we know how to do the others. So again, we need a function called move forward and backward. So we copy this function and again going to the setting and the input and add another one, and the function name is here, but this time I will press W, and also I will press S, and S will pass me the -1 because this is a backward. So I will use the W and the S, but they are binding to the same function, and the only difference is the value is different. So the -1 is going forward, the positive one is going forward, the -1 is going backward. Okay, and of course we need to again set this function, implement this function, and then add into the setup player. So yeah, let me add this into the setup player. Okay, so move forward. Okay, it's the same function, and yeah, you can see it's the same. Okay, so now the real question is how we implement our move forward and backward function. So here is the idea. Okay, so normally, let's check here. So now I click play, and you can see if this is like a first-person shooting FPS game. Normally, when you're playing, you want to move forward when you press W. Okay, you want to move forward your player based on where you are looking at. Right, so now I am looking at the corner. So if I want to press W, which means I want to move forward, I should I should control the player move to the corner, right? So where I'm looking at is the direction I want to move to, right? So now the question is, okay, how do I know the vector I'm looking at, right? If I can know where I'm looking at, I just move toward that direction, right? So to explain this, now we have a top view in this diagram. So the gray one is like a world coordinate. So in Unreal World, they have an XY. You can't see the Z because this is a top view, right? So the X direction and Y direction, and if the purple one is the controller. So controller has its own X and Y, right? So now if I just click play, if I didn't do anything, I didn't change anything, the situation is like this one. The controller is facing to the X and the controller is facing to the Y. Okay. So, but if I turn some angle, okay, to point to the corner, so I turn something, right? And now you know, because the angle I turn is yaw, right? And the situation we have right now is this. I turn something, right? The controller I turned, and the forward vector is no longer aligned with the original X. It's this vector X becomes something else. We don't know what is. the only thing we know is we turn some degree of the yaw, right? So Unreal already helped us to figure out what the X looks like right now. So how we do that is, okay, so first of all, we can get the controller rotation. Currently, what the controller rotation looks like, we just need to use this function get controller rotation, and we save on this local variable. So which means here, right? We just stop like here, but we don't know how much yard we turn, but this yellow number, like yard, we can get through this rotator. So how we get that is because it's through this function. So this controller rotator is they have their pitch, roll, and yaw. They have three component information, but we only need the yaw, right? So we extract yaw only and put the other component to 0 because we don't care so far. We just need to know the yaw rotation, and we save to the other local variable called yaw control rotation. Okay, so which means this is the yellow part. So now we know how much yaw we turn because it's in here. Although we don't know the exact number, but because we just not print out, but it's there. Okay. Now we want to know what is the X vector looks like. So there's a function they already create called get uni axis, and the get uni axis can let you pick which axis rotation you want to know. So you need to fill in an axis. So he will tell you. So now, okay. So for example, now we want to know the X, right? Because X is forward direction. So we just need to tell him we want to have a vector, and we want a univector, and this univector is aligned with the x-axis, right? Okay, but to use this function, it must be a type of rotate matrix. But before that, you might remember we only have a rotator. So we need to create a F rotation matrix to use this function. So how we do that is we create a F rotator matrix, and we put into its constructor, and then we assign to another local variable here, right? So we use the Y controller we have, and change it become to a matrix. Then we can use this matrix. For example, we use that, right? We can use that, and we can save the output vector to another variable. We call this direction vector. So this direction vector right now is the X, right? Okay, so one more time. So the first beginning, we use the get control rotation. We get the current rotation rotator. So which means this rotator has pitch, yaw, and roll based on the current situation, right? So we get the rotator, but we only need the yaw component. right? So we create another rotator, but we don't care about pitch and roll. So this one is the yellow one. Okay. Now because we know how much we turned, so Unreal can tell us what the X looks like through this function, get uni axis. And because we need create a rotation matrix first, then we can call this function. So now we have the direction vector. So the other thing is that we just add this vector to our movement input. Then the player can move by this direction, and how much it moves is based on the value passing from the keyboard. Yep. So let's build and to see what happens. Okay, so it built and let's click play. So now I just press the W. You can see now it's moved forward, and if I turn like we trying to do before, we turn and face to the corner, then I press W. You see it's moved forward to the corner. So yep, and backward pretty much is the same, right? Because this is a vector, and so yeah. So I think we finished the move forward and backward. Okay. So the next, we just do pretty much the same things on the go left and right. So okay. So let me stop this first, and we still need to add a binding, the input binding, so turn left and right. Okay, so we add another one and call turn move left and right, and there is our A, oops, A, and D. And the other one we use -1. Okay, move left, right. So back to our code. Of course, we just copy paste again. So this is a move left, right, and of course we implement this, and the idea is the same. But the difference this time, we hope Unreal can tell us the Y vector, right? So under this rotation, tell me now what is the Y vector looks like. So yeah, right, basically pretty much it's the same thing, right? So under some rotation, right? So under the some rotation, and tell me what the Y axis looks like. Okay, so let vector is the vector toward point to the right, right? Okay, so the same, we just move to the right, right? Okay, so let me oh, by the way, we need to bind again, right? Almost forget. So we need to bind again. Yep. Okay. So left and right. Okay. Yeah, and before compile, we can do some protection. If the value equals 0, we do nothing, right? Because if we didn't have the value, we don't have to do anything. Okay, then save and compile. And let me close the old one. Okay, so let me press play, and right now I'm going to press D. Oh, it goes to another way, so which means I need to change the setting, the value layer pacing. So input, so left is -1 and right is +1. Okay, now let's do it again. Let me save first. So I'm going to press D. Okay, now it goes right. And I'm going to press A. Okay, so it works. Yeah. So now we can, if you're still trying to figure out what is the direction vector looks like, we can add some debug arrow to help us to understand. So here, let's add a arrow, debugging arrow on the move forward backward function. So every time if we try to move forward, it will draw a directional arrow and start from the character location to its from, yeah, because it add the direction times 500, and I will use the red one because red is X. Okay, the same, we can print the debug arrow for the Y, so Y screen. Yep, and let's try it out again. Well, and oops, identify. Oh yeah, because we need to include a debug header. So yeah, let's include it. Control F5. Okay, so let's press play. And if I'm going to press W, okay, and you can see, yeah, so this is the forward vector. And if I turn certain of yaw, I press W. Yeah, now I will give us the forward vector again. So if I go back to original position, if I press a D, yeah, I can get the right vector. So again, I turn some degree of yaw and I press D again. Yeah, this is the right. Okay, so combined with forward and right, of course, we can start to move. And yeah, so right now it's a little bit like FPS, right? The first person shooting. So we are basically moving our character like that and click your mouse to fire. Okay, so yeah, so I think this is the video, and yep. Okay, so before we finish this video, so let me set our mesh back. So open the character VP, and we go into the viewport, we click the mesh, and find the hidden, and the hidden untick it, compile, and play. So yeah, we can move it, right? But right now, because we are not add any animation, so you will feel like very strange. But we will figure out later on.